Hello, welcome back. Welcome. This is a October 24th, 2023 on a Tuesday. Okay? I explained this earlier and then my camera just shut off. I a little bit pissed off a little bit. Not you, just the camera. Um because when I made the video, it actually canceled and I didn't say goodbye. But anyway, other words, you have lots of this is just a random reading, but this is just how there's lots of upright cards between there's earth signs, water signs, earth signs, air signs, fire signs. So there's there's four elements here, and it's basically 12 zodiac signs in this picture. You will see this earlier because I just trying to clarify the Five of Swords. I was just about to, then my camera was shutting off. So, this is how it seems to be for that one. And then I'm trying to clarify the Two of Swords, and we're going to see that card in any minute. So, and then I'll add the other cards that will be on top of it, and then I just tried to show you about notice little things, for the ladybug. That's what's was that card, and you can do it as the right card as well. So that's how it is for those. But anyway, it seems to be that. Um, but anyway, this is how it is. Okay. All right. So basically, back to my own skit. You have the Five of Swords, which represent conflict and all that. The Eight of Earth, Eight of Air is an illusion of being trapped, your lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. That's how it seems to be between the long-term relationship, the short-term relationship, between that. Now, the Two of Swords, you don't know which direction you're going to take, left or right, but we're going to clarify that. It says the Eight of Water, it says a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. Exactly how that is. It still represents Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer in that situation, but there's a way of how that is. So now we know that we have these conflict readings that I'm going to impose because now we know exactly how we could see this as a wonderful opportunity because we want to figure out what's behind with all these mess of cards because we're going to do one half and then we're going to do the other half. So, and then we're going to see what's the end of this. So we have the Two of Swords is upright. We have the Seven of Wands is upright. We have the Nine of Cups is upright. We have the Judgment is upright. Okay. So now we have, okay, so I'll put these over here for a minute. Now we have the Queen of Wands is upright. We have Three of Cups is upright. We have Four of Cups. We have the Six of Wands, and then we have the Lovers. Okay, so basically we have that. Okay, we have everything in this picture that's upright. Now we're going to figure this out as well. So I'll put the Five of Swords over here as well, because now you can see it. It's just on the corner here, so you don't see it. You have Eight of Waters is right here. You have the Eight of Airs are right here, followed by the Five of Air. You have the Five of Fire is up here. You have the Eight of Earth is up right over here. You have the Nine of Earth is up right here. The Two of Fire is up right here. The Chariot is over here, and you have the Eight of Fire that I'll put between this eight of air and this Eight of Earth, between that, between the Five of Air and the Five of Fire. So this is how it's going to be a very good balanced reading, right? It's very balanced. Okay, balancing is very interesting about between the two. You can do it. You can notice little things. This is how it seems to be, right? When you decide about having, like, many things are happening at once, it could be that in between a long-term relationship, between everything else, you have that way of how it is. Now you think, okay, well, we're going to clarify, I love that word, because we're going to clarify of what's happening between these cards. So we're going to look at these and think, okay, well, I want to clarify, let's say you want to clarify the Eight of Water, okay? Let's say you want to clarify the Eight of Fire, okay? Let's say you want to clarify the Two of Fire, okay? And let's say you clarify the Chariot. So you see all these clarify. You're going to say, okay, why we're going to clarify? Because this is how I'm going to explain to you. Now let's see. You have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so that still represents the Earth sign, still represents Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. The Chariot is the Page of Pentacles. That's upright again. That still represents Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So now you have the Eight of Fire. That would be clarify the Three of Pentacles. Aha! Now that's a reverse card. And then this one over here, with the Two of Fire, that will be clarify the Four of Wands reversed. Now, something is to me that this is a very interesting reading. Now you know exactly how you're going to look at, but now you see this as a way of how it is. You're not having people that are with you right now. You're not gonna have that three-way conversation. You're not gonna have that. The Four of Wands that represents that you're not having a nap. You're not enjoying what you're happening. I don't know if that's the way of how it is, but you're enjoying of what's happening between what you are. And now you have to look at these two reverse cards here. Now, usually I don't want to say this out loud, but reverse cards, they are not my kind of theory. They are my negative theory. It's not good. And it seems to be that's very suspicious. It's not very kindly unexpected. But now we're going to clarify, because I love that word. We're going to do that and see, okay, well, I want to see this. I want to see how this is going to be interesting. So we're going to do this and see what's happening. And then let's see. You have the Knight of Fire is passionate, adventurous, self-assured, restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is the essence. Think things through carefully. That's how it represents, because now that represents Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. This one over here, let's see, the Three of Fire is abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. Exactly. That represents, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. So when you look at this whole entire reading, you think, oh my lord, this is a lot of information. Now you can say where you can and think, okay, well, this is a very interesting reading. Let me explain. When you do this as a random reading, you think, okay, everything is all peachy, everything is all great, everything is on the greener side, and you look at that from that way. If you think that if you are in a long-term relationship, if you are in a short-term relationship, whatever it is, you have to understand that this is a way of how you can understand how it seems to be. You look at that from a different angle, a different aspect, a different way of how it is, right? It's the way of how you could sense your own ability, your own way of how you can get things through in order to obey them, right? Um, because this is how it is. If you are having conflict with somebody, if you're looking at a long-term relationship, and let's say you're long-term relationships are good, but when they are unexpected, and let's say you're feeling negative all of a sudden, or you don't want to do it anymore, or you know you're running out of time, or whatever it is, you have to believe about if you are having conflict with somebody, you are basically making excuses. You know, excuses is a way of how you're sensing your own ability. You have to remember that you have to pick sides. You have to look at from the left side and you look at your right side, right? If you look at the left side, you think, okay, everything will be fine. But when you look at the right side, everything will be different. I'm not trying to confuse you, but the whole reading that I'm trying to describe to you is where if you notice little things, if you can do it, you understand about that. And when you think about that, you think, okay, well, everything will be all fine and dandy. Yes, it is. But remember that you have to believe on what's happening between the way of how every single zodiac sign that I can see. And it's very interesting because of having 12 zodiac signs. That's a lot. That is really a huge way. And you have to believe on what's happening. You have to understand that there's always a different way of how everything is, right? Now, I am very, very, you know, not confused, but I'm very wow because about this whole entire reading. It's a lot of a lot of upright cards, and it seems to be very interesting. And when everything seems to be all interesting and you think that everything is all good, you have to believe on what's happening. Both sides have to be uh, able to understand. And when both sides have agreements, they have to compromise, they have to agree or disagree, or they have to understand what's happening. Because when there is negative, you have to draw in the positive, right? Negative can go from different ways where your emotions between is being all tangled, right? I have been there, done that, where I have I have these tangled emotions, and whenever I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling happy. If I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling sad. If I'm feeling disorientated, which means you know bamboozled, or whatever it is, and I have all these confusing emotions, I have to stay back where I am, which means I have to focus on the positives. Yes, yes, sometimes I focus on the negatives and I get myself down and negative and what have you. But whenever I feel like I'm happy, I am, right? It's that way because if you decide to have a long-term relationship and it's hard and you decide about having no conflict whatsoever and let's say the other person is blaming you for it and you did something that you shouldn't have, you have to believe that you have to understand what you're feeling. It's that way of how you can understand about that because you have to act, you have to believe in yourself. You can do it, you can do it if you put your mind to it. you know this is why that this is a huge reading, and it is because basically there is a lot of upright cards here, and I'm so happy for it. But you have to remember that both sides have to understand whether they are a good way or a not so good way. And because when you look at this, you look at this whole entire reading, you think that okay, well, everything's all fine. Yes, it is. But you have to believe in your own self that you can do it. Because when you look at the Nine of Fire, it says a sudden event that needs immediate attention. You have to look at that. You have to believe that you can do this. In order to figure this out, you have to remain your own way because it has to be provable. It has to be great. It has to be way of how it is, because this is a way of how interesting this whole entire reading is, even if you have the two reverse cards that I'll show you, because you have the Three of Pentacles that's reversed, and you only have the Four of Wands reversed. Like, those are the reverse cards that you can see that are reversed, This is why you have to impose that situation where you can get things underway in order to believe in your own self. Believing where you can understand what's happening through your own piece of life, whether that it's a good way or a bad way. But in order to succeed, you have to understand that you can be brave, you can do whatever you decide to do, right? I'm just a reader that will tell you what's happening through the cards. But you have to understand that there's a way of how you can act, the way how you feel, the way how you can pose a situation rather than procrastinate, putting it off the back burner, or both sides have to have agreements in order to satisfy, if it's between a long-term relationship or a short-term relationship between a boy and a girl, right? It's a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. But impose that situation, you have to understand that this is a whole entire reading. Basically, it's that, you know. But in other words, before this reading is almost over, I'll see what we have. I'm going to look at the reverse cards, okay, at the bottom of the deck in the situation. Because when I look at this, I think, okay, everything will be fine. Yes, it is. But look at this. So I'll put these cards over here because I'm going to make some room a little bit. Because look at this. Look at this. We have the Tower that's reversed. You have the Eight of Pentacles that's reversed. You have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, right? You have the Star that's reversed. Now, I'll put the Star basically between the Two of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles right here. And then we have the Empress that's upright. So, impose that situation. We're going to look at that from that different angle. We're going to look at that, why we have the Star reverse, why we have the Tower reverse, we have the Knight of Pentacles reverse, why we have the Eight of Pentacles reverse. There's always these reverse cards that I don't like. But I want to see in a whole entire reading, this is huge. So we're going to look at that card, that card, that card, that card. And then we're going to do the oracle cards of the animal, and then I have the playing cards that I'll shuffle and then see who's following you at this one entire reading. So we have the High Priestess, Archangel Haniel. Listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. I just said that earlier, but that's how you know what the cards are saying. This one over here, it says, the Star, Archangel Raphael, is happy times. Make positive, optimistic, long-term plans on the right path. Exactly. So this is an upright card and a reverse card because that's the Tower. Now, over here, this is the Star that's reversed here because now you don't have the positive or your happiness, happy times, right? You have bad times. That's how that is. Okay. Now you have over here, you have the Six of Air. Is things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. Exactly how that is. That represents Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And this one over here, it says Awakening, Archangel Gabriel. Look at things from a different perspective. A temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. Exactly, right? Didn't I say that? Look at, look at things from a different perspective. That's why you have to think about that. That's how you can understand how it seems to be. This is the whole entire system, but enjoy about what the cards are saying. You know, I'm just a reader that's telling you this, but this is how it is, okay? Okay, my viewers and my fans out there, this is how it seems to be because you notice the little things, right? And then you can do it as the cougar, right? You think, okay, those are how it remains. Yes, it is. But now you think, okay, well, I want to see how this remains. Okay, so we're going to look at this and let's see. You have the eagle is do the right thing. Didn't I say that earlier? Yes, I did. And this one over here, the bear is stand up for yourself. Exactly. That's how it seems to be. Okay, so right now, if you're involving the those little things that you can do it, that's how it seems to be. Do the right thing. I always say that. And then stand up for yourself. You know, that's how it is, right? You have to understand what's happening, believe in yourself, because that's the way it goes. And let's see. So we're going to see what's happening. And we have the Jack of Diamonds that represents Earth signs is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You have the Five of Clubs that represents fire signs is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And last one, you have the Six of Diamonds that represents Earth signs is Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So you see how this is. Normally, it's a way of how it is. Understanding about what's happening through this whole entire reading, understanding what's happening through this way of how I'm trying to understand of how it is, right? Normally, it's simple as that because you have to believe and you have to understand how this whole entire reading goes because whenever you look at this, you look, okay, well, everything seems to be all great. Yes, it is. But remember about the fine lining is whether you are between the lines and you understand about your breaking point, whether if you're having a good way or having a bad way, or even if you decide what's happening through your own way, you understand about that. And it seems to be. Because, in other words, you have to understand that when everything is all great, you think about, okay, well, everything's fine. Normally, it seems to be how that is because when the reading goes, the reading is very perfect. The reading is very sincere. It's very awesome. But when everything is very significant and everything that I told you about having a long-term relationship or having a short-term relationship or whatever, you have to look at from the way of how you feel, the way how you act, right? You have to believe that when things go a different way, you have to look at them from a different angle, a different perspective, a different way. And whether it seems to be all great, you have to believe about yourself, understand what's happening, and believe. Because in order the words, you have to understand and believe in yourself. So I hope that this is a good reading. I hope that you enjoy. Um, I hope that this is a good reading. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. And thank you. Have a good day to you all. Bye for now. Really. Bye.